Hey, welcome. This is Brian, and this is Adventurous Music Friday. Today we have one of the great prog slash fusion bands that ever came out of England, and just happened to incorporate the amazing Allan Holdsworth on one of his first recordings. And that band, of course, is Soft Machine. So this record has some incredible stuff on it. If you're not familiar with Soft Machine, keyboards, bass, saxophone, and drums, of course. So the players were pretty standard for a long time, and they just kind of added Holdsworth in for this record. Now, other guitar players have played with them over the years, and I happened, with one of my bands, open up for Soft Machine at a prog festival in Seattle. And at that time, Allan had rejoined them to do a record and maybe do a tour or something like that. But these guys, as far as that kind of English kind of prog jazz scene, were pretty big and pretty dominant, and most of them have recently, within the last year, passed, or last 10 years, have passed away along with Allan. So most of them are gone. But we have Mike Ratledge on organ, John Marshall was on drums, Cal Jenkins on oboe, piano, and electric piano, stuff like that. He's the horn player. And then Allan Holdsworth, and then Roy Babington on bass. So this record is a really cool record, and it's much like a lot of my favorite Holdsworth work, where he is necessarily not encumbered by lots of chord changes that he would later come up with, but much like the Tony Williams record, the Lifetime record, Believe It, and then the subsequent record, which is Million Dollar Legs. But I really love that era of Allan's playing, which is this. And then he went on to do the Bruford group and then UK, not necessarily in that order. But what's cool about this record is it's very kind of, it just has a certain feel to it that's really unique. And also, Allan was in the band Gong, not the earlier version of Gong, but Pierre Morland's Gong, and that's another incredible band as far as you basically get to hear Allan solo over these really cool vamps, and I think it's his best playing in my book. Tone wise, I love it because it's distorted more, and it's just more rock playing without all the cliches. He's still him, and it's still stellar. It just has a certain energy that I really love. And, so also Allan around this time would be in Jean-Luc Ponty's band, or at least on the recordings for a few records. So anyway, this has one really long piece called Hazard Profile Part 1 through Part 5. Bundles is great. Land of the Bag Snake, and, go on and on and on. But if you like prog, you know about this record. If you love Holdsworth, you love this record. But maybe you've just discovered Allan's playing, or maybe prog rock, and you want to check out something that's kind of the cornerstone of the beginnings of it, or at least towards the beginning. And this record does it for me. It came out in, I'm trying to find the year it came out, 75. So it's a little bit past, it's kind of right when prog is kind of ending in a certain way, because you have King Crimson doing their Red album right around then. And I believe Yes has done maybe Relayer. So Yes is continuing on, but King Crimson has basically fallen apart at this point. There's lots of bands that continued on way past this, but I'm just saying, like, the scene was definitely changing as far as prog rock and fusion, for sure. Fusion had kind of peaked around probably 73, 74. You still had Jean-Luc Ponty, you still had Mahavishnu Orchestra. Miles was going up until about 75, but his had changed more into something else. It went from that fusion stuff, Bitches Brew, into, the records that were more groove, rhythmic based stuff. So anyway, do yourself a favor. If you love Holdsworth, check this record out. If you love fusion, check this record out. If you like prog, check it out. And let me know what you think in the comments. If you know the record and you hate it or love it, let me know. I'd love to hear people's personal opinions on it. But it is a highly known record if you're a Holdsworth fan. I just love to talk about it because it's one of my favorites to this day, and I listen to it quite often still. So there you go. The record is Soft Machine Bundles, and check it out. I'm Brian. See you next week.